The International Organization for Migration in Kuwait just concluded a training course in collaboration with the Ministry of Interior. The two organizations have been joined recently to train officers on identifying and combating human trafficking on a local level. Reporter Badriya Al-Saleh was at the UN House in Mishraf with more on this report.
From the International Organization for Migration and the Ministry of Interior met for the closing ceremony of a 5-day training course at the UN House this weekend. The role of security officers in identifying human trafficking course saw the two organizations work collaboratively in attempts to educate officers on how to identify and fight human trafficking on a local level.
We provide them with the rules and tools, how the police officers could not only identify the victims, how to provide the assistance, the legal assistance and all the other needed assistance to the victim of trafficking. In addition to some practices, they have to do it to understand the real, on the ground, the real work, how they can identify the victim of trafficking. Of course, actually, this training course comes after a long series of events and cooperation with the Ministry of Interior, the training department, which they are really very interested in qualifying the human resources in the Ministry of Interior and provide them with the international standards.
Human trafficking is defined as organized criminal activity in which human beings are treated as possessions to be controlled or exploited. While anyone can become a victim, certain populations are especially vulnerable, including undocumented migrants, runaway and homeless youth, and oppressed, marginalized, and/or impoverished groups and individuals. The course hosted by IOM specifically seeks to help fight and educate on trafficking's effects right here in Kuwait.
Human trafficking is one of the serious crimes on international arena, not only in Kuwait. I think Kuwait has passed a legislation and it's became a law now. It's law number 91 for 2013. It has been approved by the National Assembly, which is increase the penalties and fines over and deter the criminals who practice human trafficking and used the need of people in a very bad way.
As everybody knows, there is no trafficking in the according to the international standard in Kuwait. There is nobody smuggled over the borders, or there is no slaves. But there is some of, even if it's a few actions by some of the sponsors, by detention, the passports of the laborers, not paying salaries, long working hours. Actually, the fraud some of the laborers are facing by coming up from their countries, faced with a serious issue that their contracts is not actually what they are getting off. This all goes under the definition of human trafficking. So by spreading awareness, by sharing our international experience with the officials in the government of Kuwait, I believe we are putting ourselves and the officers in the right path on spreading awareness about this sensitive issue.
Trafficking in humans generates profits in excess of $32 billion a year for those who force or deceive others into slavery. In fact, there are more children, women, and men held in slavery in the world today than over the course of the entire transatlantic slave trade. There are roughly 27 million people trapped in the ring of modern slavery today. IOM and the Ministry of Interior are working closely together to do their part to stop trafficking on a local level. At the UN House, I'm Badriya Al-Saleh reporting for the English News.